Hello everybody and welcome to Knowledge of Rwby, Volume 7 edition. I'm your host Knight, and with me today I have Mustafa, formerly known as Joe.
Wiggity, what's going on, people?
Yeah, we're back, and today we're going to talk about Rwby, Volume 7, Episode 1, The Greatest Kingdom. So let's just jump right into this.
As we always do.
Yep. So Volume 7 literally picks up right where Volume 6 ends, where Rwby, Junior, Oscar, Crow, and Maria in the Argus airship arrive at Atlas and see the massive blockade of the Atlas military blocking Atlas. So, seeing this, they decide to head down into the Undercity Mantle so they don't get arrested when they land. However, after they discard the ship, the soldiers quickly find the ship. They notice that Mantle is in disarray, and Maria mentions she knows someone that can help get them up to Atlas and get an audience with Ironwood. While walking, we see Yang punch a robot camera, and we
She
see
did it like a badass.
she did do that, and see a bunch of soldiers walking around. We also see a billboard with a bunch of newspaper plaques saying, "Missing journalist found slain. Manta hometown hero versus Atlas tycoon. Embargo, the right call, and outer wall damaged." So that can mean a lot of things. The Grim attacks are happening more frequently if they're damaging the outer wall. People in Mantle and Atlas are not sure if the embargo's right. There could be an election happening with the Mantown hometown hero versus an Atlas tycoon. And then a missing journalist probably got killed by Grim. We also see Faunus discrimination when Blake basically calls Mantle terrible. One of its citizens comes and says very drunkenly, "This is the greatest city ever, we're just going through a rough patch," and then calls Blake a stupid Faunus, which Weiss then throws him in a trash can and stands up for
He deserves
Blake.
to be.
Yep. They then meet Pietro, one of Atlas's greatest minds, who volunteers every now and then in Mantle to help its citizens. Maria knows him because he's the one who fixes her eyes every 10 years. Pietro knows Ironwood and says Ironwood's become paranoid because of the follow beacon. He then recognizes Weiss first, because she's Weiss' knee, and recognizes Yang's arm and saying that you painted the arm, and recognizes Team Rwby and mentions he knows the Team Rwby because of his daughter. Before Rwby can ask a question of his daughter is, they are attacked by Saber-Toothed Grim, otherwise known as Saber Grim. They have a really cool fight scene where we see Crow using his scythe and his fist in the fight against Grim.
Which he hasn't done since Tyrion.
Yeah. We also see, since Blake's sword got broken in the Atom fight back in Volume 6, we see her just use her gun form, as well as see Oscar one-shot a Grim.
Which was awesome.
Yep. But since Blake is only using her gun, there's a Grim that's about to basically kill her, and then we see a giant green laser attack the Grim and take care of all the remaining Grim. Who is the person who shot the laser? It's Rwby. Penny! Penny's back!
Penny!
Yep, she's back. And Pietro is revealed to basically be the creator or dad of Penny. It says that Penny was rebuilt when the Amity Arena Coliseum came back to Atlas.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that it's in the sky, so I can just transport it.
Yeah, it's in the sky. And yeah, Penny's back. She now has got a new design, which is very reminiscent of her old design. I feel like her hair is definitely longer. We didn't see in the fight if she used her swords or not.
She didn't. I can confirm that. She didn't.
And now she can fly, which I think was kind of hinted at in Rwby Chibi, whether like a targeting system.
But then again, it's Rwby Chibi. We shouldn't really be drawing that much from it.
Yeah. But still,
It's
really,
cute, but
yeah. And then her and Rwby reunite, which was a cool scene.
And it's funny because of Penny's line of just like, "I have so much to tell you, I can't wait. It'll have to wait."
Yeah, it seems we'll have to wait. And then, Pietro says, "Well, let's come back inside," and then he was explaining everything. Rwby, Junior, Oscar, and Crow are then arrested by Ace Ops, or Ace Operatives, or Atlas's Ace Operatives, and then taken to a vehicle. The episode ends. So you want to say something, Moose?
I mean, not much to it. It's just, Crow freaking jinxed it. Also, don't know how to feel about the new voice, honestly. Still kind of getting used to it.
Yeah, there's a new, in Volume 7, there's a new voice actor for Crow.
Yeah.
Jason something, I forgot his last name.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot what his name was too. Whoopsie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I personally, the new voice actor for me is I think he's doing a good job. It's hard to that voice he Crow had originally was a very unique voice, and I think this voice actor is doing a good job as his
He
replacement.
is. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm not going to deny that. It's just it's not the same just through a fan perspective, but I'm sure he'll grow on us all eventually.
yeah. And now I want to talk about the intro and I guess in some part the trailer we had for Volume 7. So some things to note from the intro, which is this time it's a very very anime anime-esque anime intro. We see a bunch of different things in the intro. Some notes that we have made from the intro were we see Watts smirking at the Ace Ops, which I think he can mean when the Ace Ops is undercover for Watts, or he's gonna use the Ace Ops to I don't know take down Atlas or something.
I mean, they did it with the troops before. They could do it with the Aesops now.
Yeah, but the Ace Ops are human.
Humans can be just as easily reprogrammed, my friend. Humans can be just as easily reprogrammed.
Yep. And we see all the Shnees in this intro. We see Winter, Wise, uh, Whitley, and Jack.
Jacques.
Jacques Schnee. So we definitely see them all the Schnees in this volume and see Wise interact with them.
Which means we should be getting Klein again this season, shouldn't
Yeah,
we?
yeah, probably.
All right, yay. I like Klein.
Yeah,
Klein and Winter are my favorite Schnees.
yeah, not Wise.
Well, Weiss, the Ice Queen was a little too icy for my taste when we first met her.
Okay.
It just Winter, it made sense because she was in the military. For Weiss, I love you, Weiss. You know I do. It's just,
We also see a new character, a cream-haired woman, and we see her a bunch in this actually episode and in the intro. We see in the episode some posters of her. One says "Protect Mantle" with her face on it. We see in that news billboard that we mentioned earlier, in the Mantle Hometown Hero versus Atlas Tycoon. There's a picture of her underneath the Hometown Hero. We also see a poster where we can't make out all of what it says, but it says Hill's here. I believe it could be a vote for her poster. I believe that she's some sort of not maybe politician, but she's definitely a hometown hero. And she probably did something where people like want to vote for her, maybe for the mayor or whoever is in charge of Mantle.
or maybe to be on the council.
On the council, yeah. We also see her looking at a video of Ironwood addressing the people, who briefly like a rocket's like thrown into the video screen, and we see briefly Ironwood turn into Jacques for a second. We also see her and Crow fighting Tyrion.
Which means we're getting the rematch this year.
Yeah, also means that she's probably a former huntress or still a huntress.
Well, we'll see because
Yeah,
we don't know exactly how good she is, and the fight with Tyrion will determine
yeah,
that. But I mean, I guess she has to be kind of good to fight him.
yeah. Also, she could know Crow or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, we see Ironwood fighting Oscar, but presumably it's Ironwood fighting Ospin.
Uh, we're saying like he might not know as much as we think, so
Yeah,
this might be like he gets mad at Ozpin saying like, "What? Why didn't you tell me all of this
yeah.
beforehand?" I still want to, Oscar. I will be so proud of you when you punch Ironwood in the face. I've wanted to punch Ironwood in the face since Volume 3. For those of you who didn't know.
We also see more of the Centipede Grim and the Dustgeist from the trailer. So we'll definitely see those later in the volume. Now, before talking about the end of the intro, there's something major I want to talk about. But first, I want to say it was not in the intro at all or in the trailer at all. No mentions of Cinder and Neo or Salem.
Well, I mean, Watts and Tyrion aren't doing their thing for their own sake. They're doing it for Salem, but I guess yeah, she isn't directly mentioned in her like making the Grim as she was in the end of Volume 6, or what Hazel said, which is if you want something done right, you do it yourself.
So it's kind of weird that I guess Salem's it's fine, but Neo and Cinder, you think they're gonna show up in this volume at all, or just kind of minor towards the end?
I'm willing to bet at the very I'd say like they might show up at the end, but they also might not. What I'm thinking they might do is these next 3 volumes might be kind of leaning toward the end, and we know there are 2 more volumes coming out after this one. There's no surprise about that. But what it might be is like this volume they deal with Tyrion and Watts. Next volume they deal with Cinder and Neo, and then the following volume they deal with Salem. Like, I think that'd be better than them dealing with all 3 attacking at once, which from the looks of it, that's not what they're doing this volume, and I'm completely on board with that. But then watch, as next episode, we see all three of them planning something, and I'm completely wrong, and I'm just dumb.
We also see something I want to talk about as we see it literally at the end of the intro where it usually says series created by Montiome. We see for a brief second the spear, the relic of creation. We see that for a brief second. So what do you think about that, Moose? I honestly think it's definitely locked away in the vault. Ironwood knows where it is.
Presumably.
Yeah. But do you think so they need the Winter Maiden to unlock this relic of creation. So who do you think is the Winter Maiden? Do you think we're gonna see her this volume?
I'd be willing to say no, because I don't think Watts and Tyrion are going to get close enough to get to the relic. But, of course, again, I can be wrong about that. I do have two candidates, however, who could be the Winter Maiden.
Okay, who?
All right, and $10 says I'm completely wrong about this. One of them is Hill.
Yeah, the cream-haired lady.
Yep, she might. She just might be, because there's, a reason why she was highlighted in this trailer, just like there was a reason Maria was highlighted in the Volume 6 trailer. Or Volume 6 intro.
Intro.
Yep, there we go. So that might be the case. Or, and I'd be willing to bet this is just hiding in plain sight, but Winter be the Winter Maiden?
Yeah, I don't really think so for that. I really don't think so.
Well, that's the thing. That's what makes it a possibility. If you think there's absolutely because no one expected Raven to be the Spring Maiden, now did we?
Anyway, so the Winter Maiden definitely something interesting. I imagine just they get the Winter Maiden, find out who it is, they unlock the vault, and the relic's just not there.
Well, if that's the case, where is it then?
Hidden somewhere else. Do you think Ironwood knows who the Winter Maiden is and already got the relic out of the vault already? And hidden somewhere else? Because he's paranoid?
Ironwood would seem like the kind of person who would screw up in the process of doing so, and just in the fact that he hasn't, I'm willing to bet that he hasn't found it yet or hasn't unlocked it yet.
Yeah.
But it could be that's why he's consolidating his forces in Atlas. That way no one gets that relic at the very, very least. Because, Winter was out there. Now she isn't.
Yeah.
She's with Ironwood and the people.
Yeah. So we know from the trailer, and this is kind of spoilers, that Team Rwby, they're going to be working, I guess, for Atlas, for Ironwood, going on missions to going to a mine or something to take care of Grimm. So, we know them being arrested. It's not really they're going to be arrested and thrown in jail. It's just what's the word? It's just a setback. It's just a speed bump. Nothing really to stop them that much.
If I'm being honest here, them going to jail actually seems like a very likely thing, and I see one of two ways they can go with that.
Okay.
Either Ironwood says, what are you doing? Why did you jail them? And then they all meet up. Mm-hmm. Or Jacques pays for the bail.
Well, I was thinking of basically that's the reason why they're able to work on missions. Either you go to jail or you do missions for us. So, anything else you want to mention about this first episode, the intro?
Besides how cool it was to see all the incarnations of Rwby in this intro.
That was cool. Of the Team Rwby, every version, that was cool.
Yeah, so there's that. Otherwise, I'd say I'm just looking forward to how this goes. I'm looking forward to Oscar punching Ironwood in the face, which I desperately want to see. I'm really happy to see Penny's back. I missed her joyful personality, and now I don't feel as bad knowing two of my characters were brutally murdered in Volume 3.
Yeah, well, Pyrrha's still dead, so...
Yeah, and I'd still miss her, but at least those theories saying that Penny would embody Pyrrha to some degree is becoming increasingly more possible now that Penny is back. I'm just really hoping that nothing bad happens, at least this volume, to kill her, because we just got her back.
Well, she's a robot, so they could bring her back again, probably. So that was our, basically, reaction and breakdown of the first episode of Volume 7, The Greatest Kingdom.
Yep, and maybe just say it's good to be back to doing this podcast series.
Yep, and it's good to be back to watching Rwby. So, don't forget to subscribe. You can like the video, share the video, please. Hit that little bell to get notifications. That helps us out. And you can follow us on Twitter at Relic Knowledge. And goodbye, everybody.